First of all, I'll start by saying Happy World Tourism Day, which is today, the 27th of September. And the plan or the theme for today is rethinking tourism. And so why we've decided to have this public launch event today is that when we're rethinking tourism, it's important that we combine perspectives of residents, we combine perspectives of visitors, business people, developers, architects, and creative producers, and see that how does this then show up in how we rethink, how we live, and how we plan our spaces. So welcome. My name is Adun, as Emeka has said, and we have a distinguished list of panelists that we're so honored that they could make the time to come for this event today, and also for our participants. Thank you so much for making the time as well. And so without much ado, we'll just really get started, and we'll go through the agenda which you have received. But the idea for the program really, or for the project, really came from some of the work we've been doing and looking at saying that, okay, you know what, we really want to see how we can develop the spaces around us. There's a lot of narrative around the smart Lagos, around resilient Lagos, but cities are for work and play. And how do we start to really think about how do we build cohesive communities, which is what the Sahara Centre really is about. How do we ensure that we design more cohesive communities? How do we ensure that the social cultural fabric of our communities are preserved? And also, how do we ensure these are amplified and celebrated? And so that was it. And we invited LUDI, Lagos Urban Development Initiative, Olamide, to be part of this project with us, which they very kindly accepted. And the reason for that, again, is that when you're talking about spaces, when you're talking about communities, it's also important that we think about the urban environment and urban development. And why is this so? And why did we choose Lagos Island? It's because, first of all, Lagos Island has, and if you've read the report, all of this is in the report, but Lagos Island is a very distinct space. It has the history, it has the heritage. It also is a commercial nerve center. And a lot of the plans for Lagos in terms of the cultural and creative industries are centered around the Lagos Island axis. And so the idea was, can we investigate this a bit more? Can we speak to the residents a bit more, just to even understand their own perspectives and what they think about it? And interestingly, they said that we were the first people that had ever come to speak to them to ask them what they thought about it, which was quite interesting in itself, but it also showed the sense of agency and willingness that community members have. And they participated with us throughout the data collection, where we went on different days to speak to business people, residents, and visitors. And also when we had the focus group session at the Goethe Institute, which was then at City Hall, it was really exciting and very encouraging to see how involved that they were, and just that sense of, what we also want to shape the future of our society. We're concerned about gentrification, we're concerned about the challenges, we're concerned about security, safety, transport, and we want to have a voice that can play into how things are shaped for the future. And all of that conversation and all of that journey, really for us at the Sahara Centre, is looking at saying, okay, how can the cultural and creative industries also be part of this change? Architects are part of the creative industries, cultural producers, designers, etc. And so how do we also ensure that the development of Lagos and other parts of our country, we have the key players that can play part? And so again, I'm very honored that different panelists who we invited came, because for us, it's also the sense of, can we hear from the residents associations? Can we hear from the real estate agents? Can we hear from the cultural producers? Can we also hear from the architects?